Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for the week of July 17th. We're just going to jump right in here, Libra, and see what is going on for you. You have this perfection card. It says you will do much better than expected. I love that. You have the sports card. It says collaborate or work as a team to boost your finances. Have more fun and build new connections to grow your career. So definitely would be a great time to work together with other people. I do feel that it'll probably go much better than expected, or there could be some benefits to working with other people. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Seven of Swords. The Seven of Swords did want to come up in reverse there, which is weird because I'm pretty sure there were no reversals in this deck, but I don't read reversals anyway. But also what I would say is you might be thinking, oh, Seven of Swords in reverse, that's great, but not necessarily, because the Seven of Swords, I was literally just going to say that the Seven of Swords in reverse can represent making things a little bit more difficult than they need to be, or maybe not seeing that there are ways to do your job or your career or your business in a way that isn't hard, and I'm not saying it's easy either, but, you might be overcomplicating things. The Seven of Swords is a card of tactics, so it can say that there might be more tactical ways or better ways for you to, approach your business or career, and you're going to have to, I must have dropped this deck here, but there might be better ways to do the things that you want to do, and I would just kind of pay attention to that. Sure, we'll take all three of these. Why not here, Libra? But again, you have the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Wands, and the Seven of Swords here. I would be careful of anyone rushing in this week with the Knight of Swords. There seems to me like there is a little bit of a rushing energy this week. Maybe a running out of time energy, let's put it that way. You're not the only person to get this. So, I would make sure that you're not, but I would also, what I'm saying here is I would make sure that you aren't rushing into things or, trying to make things happen too quickly or forcing things to happen or anything like that. So, I would keep working on whatever you're working on. Sometimes I feel that the Eight of Pentacles is a card of personal development, and we go from the Eight of Pentacles to you, Libra, Justice card right here, down to the Empress. So I think it would be a great time just to, pour some energy into yourself, do things that you love to do, pamper yourself, nurture yourself, all that, and it doesn't matter what gender you are either. Again, all those things I think would be very beneficial for you. You have the Page of Wands here. I would be careful of a person who isn't who they say they are. Again, I just wouldn't rush into anything. I'm not saying, and I really don't think that anything bad necessarily is going to happen, but I do feel this reading is saying, kind of give some time for a person to, I wouldn't say prove it. I don't think anyone owes us anything. So I don't think people should have to, prove anything to us unless you're also willing to prove something to them. But, I think it is okay to make sure that someone is going to, invest the same amount of energy that you are. And I also think it's okay to make sure that someone is who they say they are as well. And so I just kind of get that take your time type energy here more than anything. Again, you have these Seven of Swords here. And again, I do feel there's something you're not seeing, or, that's just the feeling I get here. It wanted to come up in reverse. I don't read reversals, but what I would say is it did give me that feeling of, maybe not seeing another way of doing things. And, that's kind of what this represents, is needing to see another way of doing things. He's also being very meticulous and careful. He's carrying those swords by their tips. So obviously he could get hurt by doing that. So he's doing something, carefully as well. And I'm wondering if that's what this is talking about. And we're going to clarify right now to get some more details on what is going on with this situation, right? With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Wands. Yeah, again, I do feel like you're in this zone maybe of working on yourself. Like I said, Nine of Wands is a card of putting up boundaries, right? And it is the Wounded Warrior, but at the same time, it could just say that you're putting up boundaries, you're focusing on, your own wellness and just in general. And, I feel that would be a great thing to do. I would also be careful of anyone who's coming in and asking for money as well here, Libra. With the Page of Wands, you have the King of Swords here. I'm wondering, you might have a choice between two people, right here. Knight of Swords, Knight of Cups. I feel again, I wouldn't, don't force yourself to do anything or anything like that, but I would just make sure that you are seeing each person as they are. I don't know, this is very specific. If you're like dating and you meet two people, I just get the feeling of like maybe you have some ideas about both people, and I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that maybe it's like, I think sometimes we don't really understand who a person is until like over time. You know what I mean? It's like we don't kind of see everything, right? It's like I don't think you're dealing with people who are holding back or being mysterious, but it's like just we learn things over time about a person, right? And again, I kind of get the feeling that one person in this situation is very mature. I feel like the other person is very immature. Opposites, right? And so if someone starts giving off immature vibes, I would trust that and go for the other person is kind of where I feel like this is going. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Hangman here. I also feel like someone plays games and makes people wait. They will probably say this right away. I also get the feeling of, like, I think that one of these people, just the feeling I get here off of this card is that one of these people, it's like they talk too much about other people. And I think that could be a warning sign for you here, Libra. So again, very specific message, but if you're dealing with two people, I feel like one of them just talks too much about, their past people, the people they've been with, all the people that desire them, right? You might get turned off by that anyway, but, I'm just saying, that's kind of what's popping into my head here. I also feel, again, that you could be waiting to act on something, but I feel like this is saying that you need to act now. I really get the feeling here that you could be working towards a change in your financial life, and this could be anything, just improving your finances. You could be getting a new job. You could just be learning more about your finances, and I feel like you're ready. I feel this reading is saying, again, don't rush, but get moving, right? Next, you have this bad forces blocking time card. It says spiritual cleansing is necessary. Someone is not good for you. Basically, everything I said. Again, and I wouldn't be worried or paranoid about this. It's not going to be a mystery. Like I said, I feel you just need to pay attention to their words. And again, this might not even be in love, right? This could be someone that you work together with. That sports card said collaborate. It could be a person in business. Maybe you deal with a person who's always gossiping. I would avoid that person this week, that type of stuff. You have this fear of success card. It says, concerned that achieving success will come at the cost of something else valued. Yeah, I don't think that's true, so I feel like you need to get out of your head. And again, you could be trying to make things more complicated here, and that is a way that we block our own success, right? You have the Ten of Wands, the Justice card, and the Queen of Swords. Again, I see this a lot. I work with a lot of businesses just in my other business life, and I've worked with a lot of businesses for years, and something I see a lot is people will create systems that are overly complicated, and really I can tell that they are fearing success. Basically, they're making something harder than it needs to be so that they don't have to be successful because they feel like they can't handle it or whatever. So I feel like this is saying like don't make something more complicated than it needs to be. I've also met plenty of people, and again, I'm not picking on anyone here. I've met plenty of people where it's like every time they start to grow their YouTube channel or whatever, something happens to their mom and they have to go take care of their mom, and they have like all these other things that they have to go take care of. And I'm not saying it's not important. Someone always comes at me. They're like, how dare you not take care of your mom? And I'm like, listen, I'm putting my mom in a home, right? I don't care, right? But what I would say is, again, obviously that's not true, okay? But what I would say is that sometimes it's like, we can still take care of people, but we shouldn't sacrifice our own lives for basically for the life of someone else, right? So if you find yourself always like finding something else to do, doing dishes is another one, right? The dishes can wait. It's like if you're trying to grow a business, it's like that's not that important. Same thing with mowing your lawn. It's like when I started growing this channel, one of the first things I did is hired someone to mow my lawn because it's not worth my time. My time is better spent doing other things, right? And plus I'm passing on the abundance. That's the other thing. If you can afford something like that, do it, because then you're creating more abundance for someone else. When you create more abundance for someone else, you create more abundance for yourself, right? But also, again, it's just not a good use of my time. And so I kind of feel that here where it's like, maybe you can't, I'm not saying you have to like hire a person, but I'm just saying maybe there are certain things that can wait, or there are certain responsibilities I'm picking up on here that maybe aren't yours. And I feel like you have to weigh up your options. I feel like you need to make the decision what's important, what's not with this Justice card so that you have time to build something great. And I kind of feel like that's where this reading is going. I have a feeling we'll find out more in the next two rows because you have the Empress, which is a lot of abundance. You have the Knight of Cups, which could be love, but the Knight of Cups is also a dream. He is normally looking in that cup. He's dreaming of his future life. And you have the Queen of Swords here. And if we look right here, the Queen of Swords, she has her back to the past, and she only has clouds halfway up her body. It says she's finally clear on her future. So it's like I think you see the thing that will make you the Empress. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. I feel the Empress is just something that will make you feel abundant, like you can create abundance, like you can have control over your own life, and like you can create whenever you want. And the Knight of Cups makes you feel like you are kind of making progress towards a dream, a goal, something like that, or a wish. Let's see. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Eight of Cups. Yes, see, this needs to be walked away from right here. That's basically what I was saying that whole entire time that I was babbling, is that there's something you need to walk away from that's just too much. With the Justice card, you have the Knight of Wands here. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would be careful. Inconsistent energy. One thing I will say is, like, I don't think Knights are that bad. I know some people read them all as inconsistent, and, that definitely can be true. And in your case, I do feel that this reading is saying, if someone shows you that they're inconsistent, they're inconsistent. So, I really feel you need to kind of trust what people are showing you at this time. And, don't get too caught up in, fancy things. It's like maybe someone seems super shiny, right? But maybe they're just an inconsistent mess. And that's kind of like what I get here. So I would definitely, be careful of that. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Queen of Wands. Yeah, I mean, and here's the other thing as well. It might just be a good week for you to focus on yourself and not even worry about love, right? It might just be a good week for you to focus on your own abundance. Queen of Wands, she moves towards the sun. Normally she has that sunflower that she's holding on to, and the sunflowers point towards the sun. So again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. The sunflower is pointing towards something new, going this direction, Page of Pentacles, that could lead to success. It's something you're probably going to have to learn about. But, the Queen of Wands, she moves towards things, creates things like new projects, businesses, new health routines, like whatever you're excited to do. She does it, and she doesn't worry about what people think, and she just does it because she feels like she wants to do it. It's just that simple. So, I would make sure that, excuse me, that you are listening to yourself. I also feel that there are people who are very encouraging in your life. And again, you have that encouragement card. So I would only listen to people who encourage you, who move you forward, who make you feel good. That listening card is, I feel like you need to listen to yourself because, again, I feel there are things that it's almost like your soul is calling you to do. These could be, business ideas, ideas for work or whatever. And I kind of feel like you need to move more towards things that excite you, things that motivate you. And that's like what your higher self is doing here. This row here represents the unexpected, by the way. And you have the Five of Wands, the Nine of Cups, and the Empress. I kind of feel like you're standing out above the competition. It's like you have the Nine of Cups and the Empress, really good cards. Empress is getting a lot of attention. She represents, abundance and creation. And that's really what I'm getting for you here is I feel like you're creating a lot of abundance. I feel like the more you can soak in an energy of like gratitude and luxury as well, the better. Her clothing on her is meant to look heavy. It's meant to look like something that is high quality. So she really focuses on quality. Ever since we've had Uranus move into Taurus, I tell people to focus on quality. Like, and it's not about materialism either, but what I would say, like, if you're going to buy something quality. Don't just buy, like, the cheapest thing. It's a better time to do that. I understand that we all have, financial limitations, but what I'm saying is it's during Uranus and Taurus. And again, it's not about materialism. It's just about, buying something of quality. I always make the joke about the blender, right? It's like I have a person in my life who has bought probably, 30 blenders over the past 10 years, right? And I bought one expensive blender and I've had it forever. And it's like, sometimes I think it's better just to buy the expensive thing because they could have bought probably 10 blenders that cost as much as mine did. And they would have only had to buy it once instead of buying, all 30 whatever blenders they bought over the years. So again, sometimes quality is just better. And again, this card doesn't say you have to spend money, but it does say, hey, like it might be a good time for you to focus on quality experiences and not so much the quality of the, or the quantity of the experience is what I was getting at. So, and this includes like where you spend your energy, where you spend your time, all those things. And, I think it'll just lead to a better week for you in general. You have the Nine of Cups. Nine of Cups is about bathing in the energy of what you want. So, to me, the Nine of Cups is a card of wish fulfillment, but it's really a card of matching energy. And that's how you can attract a wish into your life with the Nine of Cups. And not only that, there is a way to read the Nine of Cups where he might be a barkeep. and he might be, those cups behind him, he might be giving those cups out. So again, it's kind of like more symbolism that that you are deciding where to give your energy so that you can find fulfillment, right? And that's what I'd be paying attention to here. I do feel you could notice a lot of fighting going on around you. Some of you, I feel this is family. For others, people could be fighting over you. You have these like 3 knights showing up here. You have a page, 2 pages, and a king of swords. So, and again, it doesn't matter what gender you're interested in. I just feel there could be people, multiple people interested in you all of a sudden. With the 5 of Wands, you have the 8 of Wands. I would definitely avoid people who try to cause conflict as well in your life. That's the other thing is like I feel like someone's a little bit pushy. If you, especially for those of you that have 2 people right now or that are dating, it's almost like that one person might seem a little bit more pushy, and that's the person I would avoid. I feel, I don't know, I just have like a hothead type energy, or maybe you've dealt with a hothead, in the past. But it's like a dangerous hothead. I feel like they're repressed. It's like, when someone doesn't get their way, it's like they're nice, and then when they don't get their way, then they explode. That is not a good person. So I would be careful if you have that. It's popping into my head, so I have to say it. With the 9 of Cups, you have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, see, this is a nice gift from the universe going this direction here. Again, doesn't even have to be love, going this way. The 10 of Wands could say you're putting down burdens. You're putting down things that have been holding you back for a long time. The 9 of Cups and 6 of Cups could say that you're working on some sort of dream. Again, the 6 of Cups could almost be a childhood dream because they're the 2 children on it. But it could also just be, they're inside these castle walls, the 2 children on the 6 of Cups, and it can just say you've had some ideas for many years. It doesn't have to be since you were a child, but also these ideas could be more playful. They could be ideas that bring out your inner child, right? And I believe when we work on something like a project, a business, whatever, that brings out our inner child, that's when we're truly successful. And, you could be discovering something like that, Libra. With the Empress, you have the Magician. Yeah, definitely a good week for you to match energy of what you want with these 2 cards. So again, I would keep it positive and make sure that you're working with the energy of like what you want in life, basically. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have 3 cards. You have this card that says, all the shoes fell from the sky. I don't even know what that means. You have this card that says, whatever the winter spirits know. And you have this card that says, when the weaver calls your heart. So I feel for a lot of you that you need to like move towards your heart. I have something about like Kundalini energy as well. You could have like some sort of Kundalini experiences, like snake dreams, dreams about, it's like snakes going up your spine, for example, can be like Kundalini energy. So there definitely could be some sort of awakening that's happening in your life here. It's definitely popping into my head. I feel for a lot of you, you're entering into this time of your heart, which a lot of people I think are, because, we have this energy in Taurus, and especially Uranus in Taurus has a lot to do with values, like I already said. So if we do things that we do value, we're working with our heart, and then we get like rewards from the universe. You have the Page of Pentacles, the Knight of Swords, and the Knight of Cups. The Page of Pentacles is like good news coming in for you. So, I do feel like there could be some sort of good news coming in here. I do feel this could be communication from a person, but again, it's weird because there's love here, but again, I feel it would be a better week for you to, I'm not saying if love comes in, you can't entertain it. That's not where I'm going with this. I'm just saying that, I think it would be a better week for you to focus on yourself, the things that bring you fulfillment, and then you decide where you give your energy. That's what I'd be doing. But as long as it's coming from you, like, avoid pushy people, like I said, but there still could be communication. I also feel some of you, this could just be a new job coming in for you at this time. You have the Knight of Swords. Again, this is showing up in the good stuff, but I find that the Knight of Swords can be too pushy, so I would avoid pushy energy just in general. But having said that, again, this could also represent a messenger, so it seems to me like there could be good news coming in for you here. You have the Knight of Cups, which would be like a knight in shining armor. So definitely could be love, a new person coming in. But I also really look at him as a dreamer. He's normally looking into that cup, and he's kind of like imagining his future life. He's imagining something that he wants to create, and it seems to me like it's a very creative week for you as well, and that's exactly what I'd be focusing on if I were you, is creativity. With the Page of Pentacles, you have the 9 of Pentacles. You have I'll say this, you have 2 9s right here. To me, 2 9s in the tarot is a new beginning or something new entering into your life. So I definitely would say there's a new opportunity. It's funny that I said gratitude and luxuries as well, because 9 of Pentacles is the card of gratitude and luxuries. But I think that for you being grateful, or, I think for you it's more about to be grateful. I don't know. I have weird words popping into my head. It's like, to be grateful, you need to focus on quality experiences, like I said earlier. So maybe that's a way that you can express your gratitude. And again, I think that's, to have more money, you need to be grateful for your money. You need to honor your money and treat it in a healthy way, right? So when you buy something, like I use the blender example, it's like I am honoring my money by buying something of quality instead of just wasting it on 30 crappy blenders, right? So that's what I would say here. It's like, you might have the opportunity to be cheap, but is cheap a good thing? Not necessarily, right? And again, there's a difference between like wasting money and buying something of quality. And I don't know, there's something here about that. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Five of Cups. Again, I do see this could be an apology as well. This is, again, coming up in the good stuff. So obviously it's going to be good, but I'm wondering if someone could be coming in offering an apology. I intuitively, I feel you might not do anything with it other than say, thanks, but no thanks. And, I think that's perfectly acceptable. If someone comes in and apologizes and you say, hey, thanks, I appreciate it, but that's it, I'm moving on. I think there's nothing wrong with that. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Five of Pentacles. See, again, showing up in the good stuff. Five of Pentacles says, do not call attention to your weaknesses. It says to focus on your strengths. So I would definitely focus on, all the things that you're good at this week, Libra. And again, I would really listen to yourself. I would also face your fear. If you do have any fears of success, I would look at those things. And again, you might say, I'm not afraid of anything. But again, if instead of working on your business, you go do the dishes or you go mow your lawn or whatever, it's like, yeah, it might need to get done, but doesn't need to get done right now. Or could you spend 1 hour dedicated to making your business a success, right? You have this Order card, and this is, I kind of actually feel good about this. Normally I don't like this card right now for whatever reason, but I kind of feel like things are going in a nice order. It's like there's a nice flow to your week or to your time right now, and yeah, I really like that. You have this Principle card. Again, if you are attracting love, I like this card because it's a card of like attracting a person of principle, like a person who has good principles or a person who has like similar morals to you. So I do feel you could be attracting a person like that. Next, you have this Originality card. Yeah, this comes up all the time just because the time we're in. I think that, if YouTube still exists over the next 20 years, then this card will probably keep coming up for the next 20 years. It's, all about, with Pluto going into Aquarius. This card here is actually Mercury in Aquarius, but, with Pluto going into Aquarius, doesn't matter. I think that, there's a lot of benefits to being original, to trying your original ideas and stuff like that. You also have this Inheritance card. Again, funny enough, everybody gets the Ten of Pentacles or this card, and Ten of Pentacles is an inheritance. Some of you obviously could be getting an inheritance, but I think it's bigger picture than that. I think the universe is encouraging all of us to build an inheritance, to build something that we can leave to the world, something, that's important, something like writing a book or, creating that piece of art you've always wanted to create, or doing whatever it is that you want to do. Like whatever you think is going to help you make your dent or leave your mark on the world, I would be doing that. And finally, you have this Resistance card. Yeah, again, doing dishes is a form of resistance, like all those things. So I feel it's definitely one of those weeks where you could be feeling those moments of resistance. Again, I would read The War of Art. It's one of my favorite books of all time by Stephen Pressfield. He talks all about resistance in that book. And I think one of the examples he uses is, washing the dishes. So when you don't need to. So don't create resistance. But this looks really good, Libra. I like where it's going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.